Oh man, that was a past 3 hours. Oh man. I took an hour nap, half hour nap. Got my energy back. Got something to eat. Oh, we're ready to roll and rolling here. So we're going to do the shorts for about a half hour or so. And then we'll get to Billy Bean in about 45 minutes or so. But then I found another hour. I'm gonna be staying up late because the baseball USA is on at 8, so try to get another at least 3 hours in tonight. A lot of good stuff out there to share. Terry, did you get to listen to the first show? We had Mel on. That was an hour and 10 minutes. And we got a lot more good stuff tonight. So I got 2 clips on the med beds from TikTok. I don't know if they're real or not. I don't know if anybody saw the video on the med bed thing in TikTok. Well, where you been, Daniel and Carol? Been busy all weekend? Starfire. So yeah, we're gonna have another big lineup again. Oh, okay. We had that bell was an hour, so that was what I had other videos too. More good stuff. We got the X2 report. So we got a lot of stuff to go on tonight again. We're going to go ahead and get started. We'll do the shorts for a while.
Situation and get you every
time tonight a mail carrier is behind.
Police say he was pocketing hundreds of pieces of mail he was supposed to be delivering. Jalen Mouton was even wearing his USPS uniform when he was arrested. 13 Investigates Mike Hatfield has been looking into it, not only this case, but the broader problem of postal workers stealing mail. Micah.
Eric and Gina, it's frustrating when you put something in the mail and it never arrives. Potentially devastating effects when
That's
a check
why all the
is
mail's
intercepted
missing.
and altered. Sugarland police say that was a problem their residents were complaining about, and it led to the arrest of a mail carrier.
Mails.
Jalen Mouton was in his U.S. Postal Service uniform when he was picked up by Sugarland police Monday. The 32-year-old is a mail carrier that law enforcement says they were conducting surveillance on after receiving reports of checks being forged. Mouton is now in jail accused of stealing mail.
You're charged with theft of mail.
Mouton, seen here in Fort Bend County Court, was found with 226 pieces of mail, according to Sugarland PD, and about a quarter of them had checks inside. The mail was addressed to more than 50 different people, and investigators say it was all unopened. USPS confirms Mouton is now on non-duty status.
It's great. It's accountability. You need to make arrests. But making an arrest
that's a good one, Terry.
Is far less effective than actually stopping.
Yeah, they just want
it's a problem that the national president of the Postal Police Officers Association, Frank Albergo, says is important to get in front of. A report sent to Congress by the USPS Office of Inspector General calls internal mail theft prevalent in processing facilities nationwide.
When you have 600,000 employees, and even a fraction of those employees are thieves, you're talking about a lot, right? I mean, because the overall number is so high. So, you know, but most postal workers are hardworking civil servants.
Mail theft certainly not just related to USPS employees, but investigators noting in their most recent report sent to Congress that they have seen a rise in criminal organizations targeting employees to steal financial documents from the mail, like checks, credit cards, and debit cards. In a 6-month period from October of 2024 to March of 2025, the Office of Inspector General says 872 investigations were closed, resulting in 254 arrests.
The downstream effects of mail theft are severe. You know, it starts out as just stolen mail, but then it becomes compromised bank accounts, banking fraud, checking fraud.
Micah Hatfield, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
All right, watch tail. All right, we got two of our one lady here. Part 2.
Iran tried to uprise.
What happened?
Against this regime. Do you know that the regime in 2015 and 2019 shut the roads down to the animal shelters? Went inside the
hey, John, it's been a long time. Hope you have a good year so far. Coming in.
And used acid injections.
Oh, freaking up now. Dang it.
And videoed it. And showed this stuff where
well, I'll see if I can get this one. I don't know if I can get that first one in.
I wanted to simplify some things for you because I'm a person who has to have everything super simplified. All right, duh. Okay, listen, Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff went over to try to negotiate with Iran before all this happened. Steve Witkoff sat there and talked to these people about this. They wanted this uranium. Now, I don't understand the whole thing about uranium, but I'm going to try to simplify it as much as I can the way I understand it. Basically, we offered them enriched uranium that can be used for things other than building a nuclear bomb. We offered it for free for 10 years. We would give all this stuff to them for free, but it was the kind that we have done whatever to it so it cannot be used to be a nuclear bomb. Now, I might be wrong, but I'm simplifying it, okay? I might not be saying the exact right thing. Anyway, they refused it, which tells us they want to make enriched uranium so they can build a weapon. While they're in the meeting, one of the dumbasses that's talking to Steve Witkoff opens his mouth and lets them know they're 90% away from making a nuclear weapon. They have enough, I believe it was 6 or 11, I can't remember, nuclear bombs. They were a week and a half away. He was kind of saying it in a bragging way, like, well, we've already got enough to make, kind of going to try to intimidate. Well, Steve Witkoff comes flying back, literally breaks an ankle getting to the phone to call President Trump and is like, hey, they're a week and a half away from a nuclear bomb. Okay. Now, let's don't forget, these are the same people that chant death to America and put a hit out on our president. They don't want to bomb just the red conservative states and just Mar-a-Lago, like y'all keep getting on TikTok, doing your little arrow and your little pointing. They want to blow all of us away, okay? So President Trump's like,
well, I guess those two today are. I guess we can't get her today. Her videos are off today. So I'm gonna play the next one.
Who brings a cutting edge perspective on the future of health.
I just saw this. I thought this would be okay. I don't know if you guys want me to play it, but I'll play it. It's about 10 minutes. Opinions and entertainment only. I don't know if it's real or not.
Think quantum healing, energy frequency, and optimizing your body's natural ability to regenerate. I think this is a conversation that will invite us into the future of wellness. Sean, thank you so much for joining me today. I literally think I'm going to have my mind blown by this conversation.
You are. You definitely will. But it's in such a great way, because it's so exciting. And the beauty about what it is that it's a culmination of the past, the present, and the future. And they're all intersecting. And the more you learn about the present and the past, the more you can really see how this is really scripting the future, where we're moving into. And it's really brilliant because there's just so many amazing people and amazing technologies that are out there. And the beauty of what they do is that, it gets into anti-aging, biohacking, regeneration. It covers a multitude of different things. But, just to start off, actually, because I know I gave you a brief little glimpse, I want to show you this technology that we've got right here. And these are the plasma energy spheres. And if you can see on each side of the bed, there's a little dome, glass dome. And then you've got this computer off to the left right there. And these plasma spheres, that system is inscribed in hieroglyphics in Egypt. So they were using these types of systems thousands of years ago. And basically what this system is doing is it's sending signals from each side. It's what we call centipedal, meaning that it's kind of going down a funnel. And as it funnels into the middle, which is where the person's actually laying, which we would call a 0 point, they're colliding and it's creating this massive energy field with all the most beneficial frequencies for the body.
Wow.
And you're literally in a mindful and intelligent energy field. So, when you start getting into plasma energy, when you start getting into energy fields that are mindful and intelligent, you're really getting into some stuff that's kind of out there. And we're rediscovering it, but we're also saying, wow, now that we know what this is and we're finding it, we're actually realizing that what we call the ancients, they were using this technology. And I don't know if you've heard some of the updates on Egypt and that, but the Kaffa pyramid, they figured out that there's 12 pillars that go down a kilometer underneath the pyramid. These are massive structures, and they've got a spiral basically going down the outside of them. And these are massive feats of engineering that we still can't do today. And so it's shattering what we think we know about the past, and therefore, it's exciting looking at our future, that we're rediscovering and getting our hands on technologies that are very advanced, that really ultimately improve quality of life. But I think the other part of it that's really fascinating, Nadine, and we'll get into all of it, is that it also gets into enhancing your spiritual abilities. It gets into your abilities for clairvoyance. It gets into your abilities for intention, intuition, lucid dreaming, all these things that we're gifted with that have kind of been put to the side, like we don't even know that we have these gifts, or some of us do. It starts enhancing those.
Wow.
And so there's a lot of stuff on a spiritual level that also gets into, compassion and all these different beautiful characteristics that we have as human beings, and it enhances those. So in addition to the physical body, you're getting a lot of other benefits from a lot of this technology.
Wow. That's really cool to know. And, we will get into it more, but one of the things that I'm really curious about, and you were kind enough to have me on your podcast a few weeks ago, and I was talking about this mind-body connection and like the intersection of health and well-being, which is the kind of background that I come from, but also the spirituality and where they coincide. And it sounds like that's exactly what you're talking about. This is it.
It is. It is. The whole, it gets into a terminology that's referred to as med beds and med bed technology. And we do have sort of a med bed that's right behind me that is it's called a celestial pod. It has a multitude of different technologies in it. Terahertz frequency, which is a very powerful, beneficial frequency for the body. Gyrotherapy, chromotherapy, which chromotherapy is kind of like light therapy, now red light and blue light. A lot of, we're figuring out that these colors are spectrums and frequencies, and that they also have a lot of benefit. That has a ton of it. But, when you get into anything that's related to quote unquote med beds, really what you're talking about is energy and frequency based technology, which goes back to Tesla. But then, as we just discussed, really goes back thousands of years, because you look at the ancient jewelry as an example, and all the kings and the pharaohs, they're wearing all these crowns and all these different things. But what you're finding is that they're putting very powerful manifestation crystals and stones in all this stuff. Like they've got emeralds and rubies and onyx and we're realizing now that when they're wearing these crowns, these are things that are sitting on their third eye, which are like, these are very advanced civilizations and they're very smart. And so now, we're getting into this whole terminology where we talk about med beds, and med beds ultimately are energy and frequency based technology devices. Or, you can have a chamber that's kind of glamorous that looks, that looks nice behind me. But, something like that plasma energy system, that is some of the most state of the art, cutting edge technology on the planet Earth right now.
Wow. How did you, before we sort of go into more depth about some of the stuff, some of the technologies and the products that you promote, how did you get into this? Because you've been working in this industry for quite some time, haven't you? And probably seen quite an evolution within the industry. But how did you get into it, and how did you get where you are today?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, I started you off in my office. I'm like, no, Nadine, we're coming into the tacky room, right? Our Star Trek room. I don't know if you saw, but there was hospital beds up in the front, and we sell hospital beds, honestly, by the thousands. And we build hospitals all over the world. I mean, primarily in third world countries, Africa, Pakistan, Latin America, Mexico, But one of the things that I also do is I deal one-on-one with people that have ALS, MS. I get calls every day because we're one of the only companies in the United States where if you're really messed up and quadriplegic, paraplegic, and you need a high level of patient care for home, that we can provide these types of really high-end ICU beds for people that are at home. So for the last over 15 years, I get calls from people every day that are like, hey, my son was in a bad car accident. He can't move his legs, or this, or I hear it every day. And sometimes they're sad, they're traumatic stories. And there was a time back where I started hearing about med beds, and I thought, well, that's a very interesting subject. It kind of gets into off-planet stuff, and I don't want to get too far down that rabbit hole, but we can swan dive in there anytime you want. But I said, I want to dig into this. I kind of want to know what's really going on with this whole subject. And so I started looking into med beds and what are med beds, and and basically the med beds that they're talking about primarily, which are free government med beds, those are actually real. They do exist. They exist in a lot of what we would just call sort of black ops type programs, where they're integrating and using a lot of really advanced technology. And it's not technology that's really been released yet to the general public. So that whole term, but at the same time, when you start going down that rabbit hole, you do find that there is some really powerful technology out there, like those plasma spheres, which are right next to me. Technically, you could throw those in a pod like this, and that would be mind-blowing medbed technology. But you don't need the pod. All you really need to do is strip out the technology. That's really what's doing the lifting, the core work of what you're doing. And so there are a lot of people over the years that I've been able to spend time with that have been in various different programs that have had access to the technology.
That's weird how that ended like that, Lion Eagle. He just stopped it. So that was something new on the med bed. Here you go, Texas.
You are the most vile insurance company on the face of the planet.
4 minutes.
And I mean that. January 1st of this year, we had a switch from Aetna to Blue Cross at no choice of our own. We were promised that this would be better insurance and that the transition would be seamless. Has it been seamless, Blue Cross? Every single new prior authorization that we have to get again for continuation of treatment, not new treatment, continuation of treatment, you have denied. 100% of them. But here's where things get fun, a little spicy. A little, you have poked the bear one too many times. You are withholding life-sustaining treatment from my 11-year-old child. You have denied the treatment that we need to keep her alive. Treatment that she has been on for years, not new treatment, treatment she's been on. And I have spent hours, if not days, on the phone with you, and I get one story after another. Her pediatric oncology office tells me that you never received the clinic notes that were attached in the portal with the prior authorization. And so they faxed them to you per your request, and then you claim that you never got that fax either. And so they sent them certified mail. And as you know, this all takes time. After being on hold for almost 2 hours on Friday, I found out that you actually did receive those clinic notes and the fax copy and the certified mail. But now you're claiming that there wasn't a correct paperwork in there. And so we sit here and we wait for that little peer-to-peer review. So I'm not waiting anymore. I have waited long enough. I faxed you over a 3-page letter this morning explaining everything that you are withholding from my daughter. You denied a life-sustaining injection that my child needs regularly to keep from going into shock, to keep her alive long enough for us to get her to an emergency room where they can stabilize her. And this medication costs, maybe $30. Yeah, we paid cash for it now. But you denied that. You are currently denying her IVIG treatment that she gets monthly for years. She has a primary immunodeficiency, and what that means is she has no immune system. And in fact, we almost lost her in December from an everyday infection that kids get. When she gets sick, her body goes into shock because she has adrenal insufficiency, that disease that she needs the Solu-Cortef for that you denied. So we had to give her a little shot, and we had to rush her to the ER for them to stabilize her because she was in shock from an ear infection. And this is while she was on IVIG treatment. Imagine how horrible it is now knowing that she is completely unprotected because you are denying her IVIG that she needs to strengthen her immune system every month. Anyway, I've had just about enough of your bullcrap, and we are going public. We have sent that letter that we sent you this morning in the fax to your CEO, to the CEO of the company that's over you, to Fox News, to CNN, to Health Secretary Kennedy, to President Donald Trump, to Senator Ted Cruz, to the appeals department, obviously, and maybe a few extra in there just to keep you guessing. You're denying Sarah her life-saving treatment is causing this child's vasculitis to come out of remission, and that means that her organs are being damaged currently. If you think IVIG is expensive, think of what you're going to be paying in PICU bills. We know. Ask us how we know, because that's what happens when her vasculitis is flared up. You denying life-saving treatment to an 11-year-old is absolutely disgusting. I have never had more anger towards any entity than I have towards you. And I hope to God that you don't have to deal with what we are currently dealing with. And that is a child in so much pain because everything is out of whack now that she is crying and sobbing about the pain in her femurs, begging us for pain medication. A child begging us to get her the treatment that she needs, even though she knows that that treatment's going to make her sick. That is how miserable she is. And you are an absolute disgrace, Blue Cross. We're taking this to the top. You may be used to most families just giving up the fight and saying, hey, whatever. You have no idea the mother you just messed with, what you just stepped in, or how far I will take this. I will fight to get my child the life-sustaining care that she needs until my dying breath. Let's go.
How was that one, you guys? The next two are 5 minutes. They're kind of weird ones, I guess you call it. Six minutes, I think.
Empathic people feel frequencies and vibrations. The feelings transform themselves into images, and the images transform themselves into information of.
Oh, come on. This. Oh, I can't play that one. Four minutes.
Hey guys, how do you much water? I am at the
We played this one the other day.
Charleston
It's a different one.
And I did not. I opted out of the ID thing again, and the lady had to use it like a telescope thing or whatever to check my ID.
Yeah, we played that one. We're gonna play Q. Q came out finally today.
Completely wireless. Let me show you something real quick. This is my dash cam.
What's up, family? Welcome back to Out of the Darkness. I am Q. Guys, I know it's been a few days since I was here last. Forgive me for the break, but guys, I spend so much time digging into the media, into the news, and I'll be honest, sometimes it's necessary to take a little bit of a break just to recover. I mean, there's a lot of things going on out there, a lot of negativity. And sometimes you just have to take a step back. And that's what I had to do. So, but I'm back. I'm back for a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm here to try to save what's left of the conservative movement. And I know this is where conservatives live, is on Out of the Darkness, along with other places also. But I know there's a lot of us here. But I wanted to talk to you guys about Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz came out this week and condemned J.D. Vance. Now, J.D. Vance, to me, has proven to be a fairly conservative or a very conservative guy. Again, I'm still a little bit apprehensive about J.D. Vance just because he kind of came out of nowhere. But nothing that J.D. Vance has done has made me feel as though he is untrustworthy at this point. Now, again, Ted Cruz has proven to be 100% behind Israel, which, again, I'm not getting into that, and that's not part of this story. I am America first, and therefore, being America first, I'm not here to do a show about Israel. But I feel that he's allowing his allegiance, at least, to the state or the government of Israel to cloud his judgment a bit. Okay. So he came out and condemned J.D. Vance because J.D. Vance has not come out and condemned Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson and J.D. Vance have been friends for a very, very long time. They've known each other. In fact, part of the reason that J.D. Vance ended up on the ticket with Donald Trump was at the, not request, but at the suggestion of people like Tucker Carlson, who vouched for J.D. Vance. Now, Ted Cruz went on to say that while J.D. Vance hasn't come out and publicly condemned Tucker Carlson, that is a sign of compliance or complacency or acceptance. And I got to stop you right there, because I'm not going to sit back and allow the Republican or the conservative movement to become what the radical left became. The idea that I don't come out and publicly lambast a friend of mine does not mean that I accept or am complacent about their views. You take Doug TenNapel, for example. I love Doug. Doug is a good friend of mine. There's things that we disagree on. We've done shows and we've had full-on arguments over things that we disagree on. I love that guy. And if Doug did something, and he hasn't, but if Doug did something that I thought, man, I don't like that, I'm not going to come out and publicly condemn Doug. I will pick up the phone. I will call Doug. I will say, hey, what did you mean by this? I think you're, off your rocker. You need to do this differently. And the same thing, Doug has done it for me. They said, hey, I don't necessarily agree with you on this. We'll talk about it and move on. But I will never publicly lambast a friend or put my friendship on display. And the idea that if you don't come out, you might agree with something or disagree or tolerate something, but if you don't come out and publicly condemn it, this is what they did to us about the gay and lesbian and LGBTQ thing. It wasn't just enough to say, okay, I'm going to stay out of it. It wasn't just enough to say, you know what, you be you and I'm going to do me and stay over there and do your own thing, because it started off with tolerance and then it became, if you don't come out and publicly support and give money and fly a flag, then you are a bigot and a hater. And this is what I feel that Ted Cruz is doing to J.D. Vance. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Again, notwithstanding, the Israel thing, notwithstanding the idea that Ted Cruz believes because, Tucker Carlson has said Christ is king, that is anti-Semitic. I'm not getting into that. I'm getting into the fact that I don't think it's right that in order to prove the fact that you are a good conservative, that you have to go out and you have to publicly shame a friend. Don't agree with it. I think Ted Cruz is completely in the wrong. But I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Comment below. I'll see you guys next time. Be blessed.
Okay, we haven't heard him in a few days, like he said. Okay, I got a bunch of her.
On water, and the band is still playing. Well, CNN is forced to admit voters are officially done with the left in a brutal new poll. Meanwhile, Republicans are racking up wins like it's Christmas morning. You're going to watch a CNBC host literally gasp on live television when the new inflation numbers drop. And let's just say, once again, Trump was right about everything. Then Dan Bongino is calling it quits at the FBI. I've got the details behind his departure there. Plus the story the media isn't telling you about Rob Reiner's past. You're not going to want to miss a second of this. Like the video, subscribe if you're new here, and let's get into it. President Trump, he is stacking up wins on top of wins on top of wins, while Democrats are stuck with an approval rating still sitting in the sewer at a stunning 18%. Their base has shrunk down to their friends, family, illegal immigrants, and health insurance executives. In fact, it's so bad, even CNN can't spin it anymore.
How are voters feeling about Democrats right now?
Yeah, I mean, Democrats in the minds of the American public are lower than the Dead Sea. What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look. The net approval rating for Democrats in Congress, you said it, Kate Baldwin, the lowest ever. Look at this. Overall, they are 5 points underwater. Their approval rating is south of 20%. It's even worse when you look at independents. Look at this, negative 61 points. That means that their approval rating is 61 points lower than their disapproval rating. Quinnipiac has been polling this question for the better part of the 21st century. They have never found Democrats, at least those in Congress, in worse shape than they are right now.
And yet Democrats still want to talk about President Trump's approval rating. Maybe they should start by looking in the mirror before continuing down this tired anti-Trump at all cost path, because it hasn't worked before and it's clearly not working now. And that's not the only bad news Democrats are waking up to today. Watch this CNBC host gasp in real time as new inflation numbers roll in and completely shatter expectations.
The number of the morning, the CPI, maybe coming in a little bit better than expected. 2.7%, a little light here. I'm just reading the headlines here. Year over year, 2.7. Ex-food and energy core, 2.6. So 0.4 off. That is a very good number here. Seasonally adjusted index for all items less food and energy rose 0.2% over the 2 months. So correct my math here, Michael Santoli, but 0.2 divided by 2 is 0.1.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's a very, very low monthly rate here.
So let me get this straight. The so-called experts were wrong again, and Trump was right about everything. Shocking? Not so much, but somebody might want to check in on the panicans. Now, over at CNN, they had a Harvard expert on this morning, scrambling to basically react to the report showing that core inflation is now at its lowest level since COVID. Good. The Democrat ship isn't just sinking, it's taking on water.
Part one. Dang it. I got confused on how I got it all set up, you guys. This is part two.
This up. They're demanding we fund woke projects in foreign countries while Americans at home can't afford basic necessities. Now, here's the real shocker. It's not just Republicans saying enough is enough. Independents, the voters who decide elections, are abandoning the Democrats in droves. The middle of the country, the heart of America, is waking up and walking away from the insanity.
Change in the Republican Congress's net approval rating versus pre-shutdown. It's rallying the base for sure. Look at this, the net approval rating up 12 points versus pre-shutdown. But it's not just with the base. It's also with the middle of the electorate. Look at this, among independents, it's up 8 points as well. So we've got a situation here where Republicans with the shutdown are actually rallying their base, but it's also something that's not hurting them with the folks in the middle. If anything, it's helping them with folks in the middle.
That's huge. And it completely flips the political playbook on its head. Independents, they usually always swing away from the party that's in power. But this time, they're moving toward Republicans. It just shows you how fed up Americans are with the Democrats' reckless spending, their open border policies, and far left social experiments. If this trend keeps up, the next election won't just be a loss for Democrats. It'll be a landslide rejection of their entire radical agenda. And just when Schumer and his crew thought it couldn't get any worse, CNN dropped another bombshell that sends their party into full panic mode. Watch this.
So how do Democrats, how are they positioned right now?
Yeah, so I mean, look, the generic congressional ballot, which traditionally Democrats have done really well on. And if you look at this point back when Trump was president the first time around, Democrats are up 11 points. Look at where it is now. Democrats are ahead, but they're actually only up 3 points. This is, in fact, the worst position Democrats have been on in a generic ballot at this point in midterm when there was a Republican president in the last 20 years. And this is no different from pre-shutdown. So Republicans aren't losing on this metric either. They become more popular, and they're actually in a pretty good position for them historically when it comes to the generic congressional ballot.
This is a concerning number for Democrats, are you saying?
This is a concerning number for Democrats because it's considerably worse than they traditionally do in midterm elections when there's a Republican president.
Democrats aren't just bleeding support. They are losing the middle. They're losing momentum. And just when you think they can't sink any lower, they prove you wrong again. They have turned the shutdown, a crisis of their own making, into a spotlight of their own corruption and incompetence. And thanks to that spotlight, we now know even more about where your tax dollars are going. So Newsmax just exposed who's actually benefiting from the food stamp program. And it's not struggling American families. The data shows a shocking percentage of recipients aren't even U.S. citizens. Watch this.
There are 42 million people in this country that need food stamps on a weekly basis. And we're saying people deliberately instead of Americans, because most of the people that are on food stamps aren't even from this country. 45% of Afghanistan immigrants are on food stamps. 42%.
Taxpayer money for global gender ideology campaigns.
Okay, I got two more. Then we'll do Trisha, a couple Trisha, then we'll do Billy Bean video.
On the ropes, Trump came armed with a bold, chilling message, and his counterpart felt every second of it. When the cameras were rolling and the American press took their swing, the reaction from Russia's leader says it all. No words needed. I've got the pageantry, the power plays, and where the talks stand right now. Then there's locked and there's hidden. Deep inside FBI headquarters, Kash Patel uncovers a secret room that is filled with damning evidence. And it's almost as if someone on the inside made sure it stayed intact, waiting to be found. Plus, Governor Newsom's new congressional maps just leaked, and I've got the inside look. Wait until you see how the Democratic leader is punching back. I want to take a quick moment and send a huge thank you to our members and everyone that is supporting us with Super Thanks donations. Your support keeps this channel independent, and it allows me to do this full time. You are not just viewers to me. You are part of a mission to get the truth out. So thank you. If you want to support us financially, details are down below. If you can't, no worries. Just hitting that like button and sharing your thoughts helps us more than you know. Okay, back to business. President Trump just faced arguably the most important moment of his second term, a high-stakes meeting with Vladimir Putin in Alaska. Now, Putin says he wants to improve economic ties, but Trump knows this is about far more than just business.
I noticed he's bringing a lot of business people from Russia, and that's good. I like that because they want to do business, but they're not doing business until we get the war settled.
Now, President Trump, he touched down in Alaska with an ironclad lineup. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and Trump's fiercely effective Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff. This is not just a team. It is a war council, each man chosen for precision, purpose, and the will to win. Their mission? Confront Vladimir Putin and end the war in Ukraine on American terms.
President Trump understands negotiations. He understands peace through strength. He understands when to use strength and also when to shake hands on peace.
Now, while the president was preparing to touch down in Alaska, MSNBC, they were doing what they do best, undermining our president hours before a high-stakes meeting and practically giving Putin his opening talking points.
Putin will come prepared. Putin knows the name of every single village that they're fighting in. President Trump does not. And he just has to be careful not to agree to something in that meeting that then jams President Zelensky.
This is a president who does not like written briefing books. He doesn't like to be briefed and prepped in a traditional way, whether it's for political debates or for many of the meetings and summits that he holds as president. He will be joined on the ground here by the chairman of his Joint Chiefs of Staff and his military team who have the facts available to them. Whether the president avails himself of their expertise, I can't say.
Okay, one more, and then we'll do Billy Bean.
Funny how the media claims Trump's playing right into the enemy's hands while they hand over the real propaganda gold. They call him clueless and then hype the other side as a genius war tactician. So who's really helping who? I mean, they are so obsessed with attacking Trump, they forgot the world is watching. And hours before this nuclear level meeting, they are undermining their own president. Let's not forget, he got the enemy to the table. Their president couldn't even find the table. And MSNBC warning Trump not to give up territory right after he said, that's Ukraine's call. Watch.
Are the territorial swaps on the table? Will you be discussing that?
They'll be discussed, but I've got to let Ukraine make that decision. And I think they'll make a proper decision. But I'm not here to negotiate for Ukraine. I'm here to get them at a table. And I think you have two sides.
Then comes Nancy Pelosi, who chimes in with her baseless lies, accusing Trump of being compromised, all because he met Putin in Alaska.
I don't trust Putin at all. I don't know what Putin has on the president that he's coming to Alaska. They shouldn't be going to Alaska. Russia claims Alaska.
If Trump meets Putin in Alaska, it's treason. But when Biden hands him a pipeline and ignores Ukraine, that's foreign policy? Okay, I got it. Putin showing up in Alaska, that's not proof he owns Trump. It's a sign he's desperate. You don't walk into your rival's backyard unless you're losing. And just so we have all the facts on the table, Putin initially pushed for a meeting in the Middle East, one of the few places he's still welcome. Because remember, he has an international arrest warrant hanging over his head. Trump said, nope, I'm not making that long trip again. And he decided that Alaska was a good middle point for both leaders. So here we are today. The two stepped off their planes, and then next came the president's chilling message to Putin. First, Trump had a B-2 bomber fly over Putin's head like a boss. It said, welcome to the US of A. Now, was it a pageantry or a warning?
There's video going around social media that during this moment, right before they walked to that stage that reads Alaska 2025, we could all see when the planes flew overhead, and both men stopped and looked to the sky. But that was an American B-2 bomber flying right over the head of Vladimir Putin. And I just think so much of this pageantry is part of the negotiation, establishing which one of these men is in charge.
The military symbolism did not stop there. It echoed Trump's bold airstrike in Iran.
This is pageantry, this is drama, but it also sends a signal. Remember, B-2 bombers from Whiteman Air Force Base traveled 36 hours and dropped ordnance on Iran nuclear facilities. And that was not too long ago. And it was a message not only for the Middle East, but for the world.
After that, the two stepped into the beast together and rolled past a beautiful display of raw American firepower. Funny how the media claims.
Okay, we're caught up with her. She had some good ones the last couple of days.
You can say hi to your neighbors without any.
Welcome
30
to Truth
minutes,
by
you
Billy
guys.
Bean. Today's date, March 15, 2026, time in Texas, about 1 p.m. President Trump sends in the Marines, and Israel has no continuity of government. And what's happening in Canada and the UK as they welcome in the mullahs and the IRGC. China, it appears that Xi has successfully broken the chain of command in the Chinese military. So let's get started. I have a Patriot subscriber who says, hello from Ontario, Canada, the U.S. 51st state. Well, that might be true in the future. I have a Patriot subscriber who says, when President Trump says something that sounds bizarre, he could be simply communicating with the U.S. military, or maybe he's trolling the deep state. I agree with that. So we have now in space weather, yesterday and today, we've had a high rate of solar wind, 1.3 to 1.6 million miles per hour that has produced a low-level geomagnetic storm yesterday and today. And last night, auroras were seen all the way down to Colorado. Now, weather-wise, it appears that central to north, all the way down to the deep south of the U.S. Is expecting a strong storm system that could have winds up to 75 miles per hour, hurricane force winds, tornadoes, and another cold front. So that's going on. It's supposed to come in to Texas late tonight, and the same for most of the U.S. So that's going on. So we have this from Sequel's aggregate site, a contributor, RAIR, R-A-I-R, talking about a bill trying to be passed in Canada, Bill 6-9, which has many Canadians protesting, pastors, part of the parliament, conservatives, civil rights activists, and so on. The bill would strip away protection for religious speech.
Get up there.
And would technically give the Canadian government the legislative government right to tell pastors what they can and cannot preach in their churches. So that's going on. And we have this. We've had in Iran
No deer yet.
over the past 24 hours a joint hit by the U.S. and Israel on police stations in Loristan, Iran. And we're hearing and seeing videos of Iranian mullahs, clerics, and IRGC going to Canada. And we're hearing that Canada welcomes the clerics and mullahs, excuse me, but that Canada does have a ban on IRGC. However, Canada is letting in the lower level IRGC into Canada, who are not at the top leadership of the IRGC. Canada's doing this, as is the UK. Now, we know that Canada is also in the process of disarming the Canadian people. It's been my position for years. The first act of an evil and corrupt government is to disarm its citizens. Maybe the Canadian government wants these radical mullahs and clerics coming in, and the lower level IRGC troops who already have experience in shooting down Iranian unarmed civilians in the streets of Iran. And perhaps Canada wants to utilize that experience should Canada need to turn itself on Canadian citizens. So that's going on. We're hearing that some of the radical mullahs and clerics in Iran are going to Russia. Some had tried to go to France, and France would not let them in. So then they went to the UK. We know that Starmer, the leader of the UK, appears to be firmly in the pocket, it appears, of CCP. We're seeing Canada following a similar path, and we're hearing CCP military are making preparations to bivouac in Canada. Now, I put out in my last video, it has been confirmed by my sources that inside Mexico, there are IRGC troops, and there are 100,000 CCP military. So if Canada lets in the CCP military, we'll see CCP.
What's GovPlus? GovPlus is revolutionizing how you apply for any of these important documents.
Military in Canada, as well as Mexico, setting up a possible Red Dawn scenario for the people of America. So that's going on. And we have this. We have that in Iran, they're trying to call up their reserves who are not reporting for duty. And we're hearing the U.S. has destroyed inside Iran certain IRGC who had links to a secret operation of the IRGC. We're hearing that the UK welcomes both the mullahs and the IRGC. So that's going on. And I have a Patriot subscriber who says, well, we have that wall across the U.S. southern border. Now we need one across our northern border. I couldn't agree more. And we're hearing this, that, the U.S. is using in Iran AI systems with its weapons. However, the AI may select targets, but a human always has to okay the hit. And we're hearing they're using several systems, including Palantir Maven. And President Trump says there are 1,700 Iranian sleeper cells inside the U.S. Now, I would assume that President Trump gets the top level intel. So if he says there's 1,700 Iranian sleeper cells in the U.S., I would tend to believe it. Now, just this morning, information came out from the FBI that the Iranian sleeper cell individual who attacked Temple Israel Synagogue near Detroit, his brother is a commander with the Hezbollah in Lebanon. Hezbollah is a proxy for Iran. So that definitely ties that attack to Iran. And we have this. Yes, we're hearing the Marines are being called up. We're hearing now about 5,000 from the U.S. to go to Iran, and that the U.S. is moving amphibious ships from Japan to the Middle East for the Marines to use. Now we know, including the USS Tripoli, and we're also hearing the 82nd Airborne is also being surged from Fort Bragg. Now we know that President Trump, a couple of days ago, took out the Iranian military installation on Karg Island. So we have the Strait of Hormuz. About 300 miles away, there's an island called Karg Island. On it, 80 to 90% of Iran's oil for shipment is processed. On Karg Island was a large IRGC military location. The U.S. military took that out. So that's going on. We're hearing we've had 5 Iran-linked terrorist attacks on America, including one cyber attack on a medical technology company, Stryker. So it's coming out that that was done by the Iranian hacker group Han Data. And this happened in Michigan on the Stryker company, which took thousands of employees offline in the U.S. Now, Stryker is a global company, and it also affected their global network. And we're hearing from the Department of War advisor, Frank Rose, that this was tied to Iran as being a terrorist attack.
TurboTax locations are now open in your neighborhood. So, hand off your taxes to an expert today. Now local experts do your taxes with 100% accuracy.
Experience the irresistible crunch of our golden fish crisps, more addictive than chips or spicy corn snacks. Made from wild Alaska.
So that's going on.
22 minutes.
And we have this. We have from the China Observer that many of the besiege groups are being hit in Iran. Besiege is the arm of the IRGC that goes out into the streets and machine guns down unarmed Iranian citizens. And the same Iranian hacker group, Hand Data, reveals there have been a high number of defections from both the IRGC and Besiege, and that missiles and drones are now being fired according to preset targets. And I've brought that out in a previous video. It appears there is now no central command in Iran. Ayatollah number 1 has been killed. Ayatollah number 2, there's a big question mark, but he hasn't been heard or voice, and he hasn't been seen on video. So it's questionable as to whether or not Ayatollah number 2 is alive. It does appear that the group calling the shots is the IRGC, but we understand the top leaders of the IRGC are not calling the shots inside Iran, but are calling the shots from the adjacent nation, Pakistan. So that's going on. Yeah, in Pakistan, they're giving orders, the IRGC. And we're hearing that for both the IRGC in Iran and the Iranian regular military, there are massive shortages, ammo, food, water, medicine, and so on. And the IRGC will not allow the Iranian military who are wounded to go to hospitals. The hospitals are for the exclusive use of the IRGC. And we're hearing this also that IRGC and Iranian military reserves refuse to report for duty. So that's going on. And the U.S. military, we're now on our 16th day. The first hit by the U.S. and Israel was February 28th. We're in our 16th day of hitting Iran. The U.S. military through Friday had made 6,000 strikes, hitting 15,000 targets and destroying them. So that's going on. Now we have from President Trump that the plan to hit Iran has been in place for months, and that Iran had a secret plan to take out all of its Gulf states' neighbors, which it's in the process of doing, so Iran could rule the Middle East. Now, I put out in a previous video, as of 2007, the IRGC and the mullahs, the Ayatollah, had a plan. If the Ayatollah was taken out and the IRGC top leaders, then IRGC leaders in the 31 provinces or states would have pre-positioned weapons and also a pre-positioned, pre-selected list of targets. It appears that the IRGC leaders in the provinces are using that pre-selected list of targets, which is designed to destroy the Gulf states' neighbors. So that's going on. And we have this from Canadian Prepper. Yeah, we're hearing reports of 10,000 U.S. military being surged to the Middle East, including 5,000 Marines. And Hal Turner's intel also confirms this. and that there are 20,000 National Guard rapid response under a new law that possibly also could be surged to the Middle East. And that recently the U.S. government put their ability for U.S. citizens to register with the Selective Service, the military. They made that digital. And we have this Friday night, Iran launched 138 drones to hit Bahrain. As I've said, it appears that Iran's secret plan was to rule the Middle East. So from 2007, they had these pre-selected targets to destroy their Gulf states' neighbors. So that's going on. We have from 2C TV.
Best way to unclog your arteries, cut out salt. Nope. Take blood pressure meds. Nope. Follow the DASH diet. Nope.
That Iran has also hit locations inside Iraq, and that has resulted in the death of injured 6 French soldiers.
Number 11.
We do know we had a KC-135 crash in western Iraq that tragically resulted in the death of 6 U.S. military troops. And we're hearing that, according to CENTCOM, it was not due to hostile nor friendly fire. And we have this from New Atlas. The U.S. plan that the U.S. is currently prosecuting in the Middle East, according to New Atlas, had been in place for decades. And we have this, that 2 IRGC assassins in Canada apparently have been identified and arrested. So see, Canada, this is what you get for letting psychopaths into your nation. They bring with them IRGC, who are going into Canada and the UK.
No.
And their number one target, of course, will be Jewish synagogues. And that's going on. And we have this, the U.S. and Israel, and the past 24 hours have made significant hits on Iran and Shiraz and Isfahan. So that's going on. And we have this. Now, I find this very interesting. This is my perspective. I did my research this morning. Now, at the beginning of this conflict in the Middle East, we heard that Benjamin Netanyahu and his cabinet have moved to Germany and were making calls to the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, from Germany. We had not heard that Benjamin Netanyahu and his cabinet had come from Germany back to Israel. But in the past 48 plus hours, we have heard a story. Now, this is the story being put out, that the private home of Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel was hit, and that his brother was killed. Also, Ben Gvir, I believe, the Minister of Defense, and Smotrich, the Minister of Finance, was also killed. Excuse me. We're hearing stories that Benjamin Netanyahu was also killed. And what we're seeing tends to support that Benjamin Netanyahu was also killed. We have not heard from him in several days. We did see one video put out that obviously was AI generated. Now, I put this forth. The story of this group being hit in the private home of Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel is not believable. I mean, Israel is in a combat situation. Benjamin Netanyahu, if he had been in Israel, and his cabinet would have been in a bunker. But as I said, the last I heard, they were in Germany. But we do have reliable sources coming out and saying that it does appear that Benjamin Netanyahu's brother and the two, Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, were also killed. And we're hearing rumors that Benjamin Netanyahu was also killed. Whether, I don't believe the story, they were having dinner at Benjamin Netanyahu's home in Israel. I don't believe that. I believe it's quite possible they could have been hit, possibly in a bunker in Israel, or maybe in a bunker in Germany. We don't know the location. But I did research this morning who would succeed Benjamin Netanyahu, because I noticed on the news this morning, we're not seeing any of these people. They haven't made statements in days. And the person we're seeing speaking for Israel is the foreign minister. So I looked up.
Oh, look, I'm getting a call from one of those unknown numbers.
Have you tried reversephone.com?
Reversephone.com?
Yeah, we all get numbers.
What was Israel's plan for continuity of government? Israel's government has no plan for continuity of government. The way it works is Benjamin Netanyahu was the prime minister. If he wanted to name an acting prime minister that could take over for him in times of need, Benjamin Netanyahu would have named the acting prime minister. Benjamin Netanyahu did not name an acting prime minister. There's no one to take his place as prime minister. And the process in Israel requires that the Knesset, the government, like the Congress of the U.S., the Knesset, would have to select someone and they would have to vote on it. So if Benjamin Netanyahu is not able to perform the duties of prime minister, there is no one else to succeed him until the Israeli government selects someone and votes on it. So that's where I believe the Israeli government currently, I believe, is very likely in that position of not having a prime minister. As we see in Iran, it equally appears very likely that Iran, according to the Constitution of Iran, also doesn't have a leader. So that's going on. And we have this, that the IRGC, many are trying to escape from Iran, and they are going to Russia, to the UK, and to Canada. Now we're hearing in China, and I'll put this forth. This information that New Atlas put out, that what we're seeing going on against Iran had been a U.S. plan that had been decades in place. The U.S. military does put plans in place for decades sometimes before they're used. Part of President Trump's plan during his second term, first he had to have the wall across the southern border because there are IRGC and also CCP military in Mexico, plus the cartels. Then the U.S. needed to use ICE to get as many illegal aliens out of the U.S. as possible, because it was known by the U.S. government and the U.S. military that many were terrorists. So that's going on. And then to take down the enemies of America, the top position, China. And then we had Venezuela, we have Iran, we have Cuba, we have Mexico, and now it appears we have Canada. So that can be added to our list. But we see so President Trump took down first Venezuela. Now we're taking down Iran to deprive China of oil. But it appears that Xi has practically destroyed China from within. Xi, since January, has purged 100 generals, or 52% of the Chinese military chain of command. Right now, there doesn't exist a workable chain of command in the Chinese military. Xi, it's believed, did this because he believed the Chinese military was going to move against him in a coup. So that's going on. And we have this. We have that there are ties, we know, between China and Iran, that China has supplied Iran with many weapons, and it's believed China is supplying Iran with intel right now. Now, I'm hearing a name because Xi is losing support by both the Chinese military and the CCP. A likely replacement for Xi could be someone named Hua Jing, who's high up in he's the Iranian advisor for Xi right now. But it appears he may be being put forth as the next president of China. He had worked previously in Norinco, the Chinese weapons manufacturer, and then he went into politics. So that's going on. We had a recent interview by Stephen Gardner of Joshua Phillip of Crossroads.
Rebound and recover with the Planet Fitness Black Core.
Ah. Dang it. Chico. I didn't lose my spot.
And then he went into politics. So that's going on. We had a recent interview by Stephen Gardner of Joshua Phillip of Crossroads, talking about, yes, and another reason President Trump wants to take down China or change our ties with China is China's continued manufacturing of fentanyl. Now, early in President Trump's second term, he had a conversation with Xi, where President Trump said the U.S. doesn't want China sending the precursor chemicals to make fentanyl to South America and Mexico. Xi said, no, we'll stop that. Well, they have done nothing to decrease the amount of precursor chemicals to make fentanyl going to the cartels. So that's going on. But we're hearing there is a panic in China with regard to the reduction of the oil they're receiving from Venezuela and Iran. And we have this from Epoch Times, American thought leader, that China's oil has been dramatically decreased by the U.S.'s hits on Venezuela and Iran. And that Xi's number one problem, this is according to a former CIA Chinese expert, is that Xi is not in control of the military, and he is not in a position to regain that control because he purged the military of 100 generals. And we have this, that in the past 3 to 4 days, Iran has also hit Chinese ships and tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. And we have this, that, yes, so there had been, China had expressed its problem with President Trump only sending lower level individuals to China, not sending before President Trump's visit, March 31 to April 2, because President Trump had not sent the deal makers to China, which is the norm. Before presidents meet, they send in their cabinet level members to make deals, and then they're signed at the meeting. So now we're hearing this from Reuters that high level US and Chinese cabinet members are meeting in Paris today. This includes the US Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent and other US cabinet members, and that China had sent their high-level cabinet member He Lifeng, and they're discussing tariffs, rare earth minerals, magnets, and also on the US side and on the China side, China receiving more US agricultural products. So we see things going on in the world. I believe, and I encourage President Trump to remain steady. All those psychopaths in Iran, the mullahs, the clerics, the IRGC, have to be neutralized in Iran before a transitional government can be put in place to benefit the people of Iran. So it's good for us to be in prayer for America, President Trump, the U.S. military, and world peace. And world peace. I love you, and I'll see you soon.
Okay, we got Billy in. I'm going to play about at least 6 more short ones. And I guess we'll play that YouTube one with the funny lady that's 26, is a 26 1 minute, so it must be a good one. And Q came out with another one.
Done something that almost no other country has managed to do. Homelessness is often considered a problem that doesn't have a solution. But Finland didn't just reduce homelessness, they practically ended it. And what makes this story even crazier is that Finland did it while most rich countries were getting worse. The United States, Canada, the UK, and France all were experiencing rising homelessness rates, but Finland went the opposite direction. Finland solved homelessness by changing one simple belief. Most countries treat housing like a reward. There are steps you have to follow in most of these countries, like get clean, get a job, fix your life, and then perhaps you deserve a home. Finland said that let's do it backwards, because if you don't have a stable place to sleep, how are you supposed to fix anything? So Finland created something called Housing First. The idea is simple. If someone is homeless, you give them a permanent home first, not a temporary shelter, not a bed for one night, not a program that kicks them out after 3 months. A real apartment, a door that locks, a kitchen, a bathroom, a place that belongs to them. Then once the person is stable, Finland offers support, like mental health help, addiction treatment, job assistance, and so on. But here's the key. They don't make support a condition for housing. Because Finland realized something most governments refuse to admit. Homelessness is not usually caused by laziness. It's caused by a mix of mental health issues, addiction, trauma, and economic collapse. And once someone falls into homelessness, the system keeps them there. Sleeping rough destroys your mind, stress destroys your body, and shelters often feel unsafe, crowded, and chaotic. So Finland stopped treating homelessness like a moral failure and started treating it like a solvable systems problem. And the results were shocking. Not only did homelessness drop massively, Finland also saved money. Because it turns out that keeping people homeless is expensive, because there are emergency hospital visits, increasing crimes that cost temporary shelters and then court cases. A permanent apartment is cheaper than the chaos of the streets. So Finland didn't solve homelessness with motivation speeches. They solved it with one powerful idea. Before you fix a life, you have to give that life a place to stand.
Okay, that was an important one there. Up 2 minutes.
We are striking Iran. We know of more than 5,000 strikes that have gone down. We know that we are ahead of schedule. There's some optimism there. Apparently, a lot of groups want this solved, so to speak. There's some talk out there that Russia has intervened and pleaded with the president to stop this. I think he's just committed to one thing and one thing only, and that is making sure that we are in charge of whoever is going to be the regime over there, because we don't want these ayatollahs. We don't want these extremists. We don't want the religious nutjob zealots. No. You know, you got to get somebody who's secular there, who understands you want to join the world economy. You want to do business with us? Fine, Donald Trump would say. Great. But, you know, you got to do it without all the crazy overhang of what they got going on. Listen to Donald Trump talking about the possibility of any kind of attack here in the homeland, and think about what's going on right now in Congress, where they are refusing to fund DHS. Watch.
Iran activated any sleeper cells inside the U.S. There's reports that they have pressed that trigger button to activate those cells, at least abroad.
Well, they've been trying for a long time. We've been very much on top of it. One of the things we have to do is get the Democrats to stop the Democrat shutdown. Because, as you know, the apparatus that looks into that, Schumer and the Democrats have shut it down, which tells you they probably hate our country a lot. But the Democrats have to open that up. But we've got very, very good intelligence into that. We know a lot of different things that have happened that have been very bad. A lot of them came in during the Biden open border period. But we have them under, we've got them, we're watching every single one of them. Yeah, we know a lot about them. The biggest problem we have is the Democrat shutdown. We know a lot about them, but the shutdown doesn't allow us to do what we have to do.
Yeah. So he's upset about that, and rightly so. You know, he can't figure out why he can't get more Democrats on board, to the point where, you know, he's looking at Chuck Schumer, who used to be so pro-Israel, and suddenly Chucky boy is standing up for the other side. This is kind of funny. Donald Trump on Chuck Schumer being really a registered Palestinian.
We're going to save America. The Save America. How can they fight us? The Save America Act. And I've watched them. I watched Schumer, who's horrible. What a horrible politician. He is now a Palestinian officially. He is registered as a Palestinian.
Oh, wait.
He's a proud.
We might have played this one.
He's taken the biggest turn of any human being I've ever seen.
You guys remember?
He's gone from totally pro-Israel to totally pro-Palestinian. He wants to protect the Iranian people that are quite nasty.
Yeah. So the president's up against a lot. I mean, he's got Chucky boy, who's, you know, the registered Palestinian. Then he's got Elizabeth Warren, who smells blood. She's like, I have the ability to control some money on this one, and I'm going to use it. I mean, forget about the fact that you ought to be looking out for the people. You got to be able to, you know, make sure that you're funding.
She just came out with an 11-minute one. We'll play this one. That was 4 days ago. Ooh, this might be a good one, you guys.
Information that pertains to one Michael Cohen. He is
Just
alleging,
came
you
out.
see, that she coerced him along with Alvin Bragg into saying some things that he didn't necessarily mean. And that would be kind of a problem. You see, this came out in a Substack post, I don't know, back in January. And we kind of all like looked at it and it was like neither here nor there. It didn't seem as though it really had any legs. And then all of a sudden, late last night, what did we learn? The Trump legal team put forward a filing and they are demanding that Letitia come forward with all of the documentation pursuant to her conversations, her texts, her letters with Michael Cohen and his lawyers. And again, I want to just emphasize that the penalty here is 20 years. I mean, it could actually even be worse. And we'll go through the consequences. And she could be disbarred. She could get 5 years. She could get more than 20. I mean, if it is what we think it is. Anyway, let me just back up for a second and let's go back to what his Substack post was. You remember Michael Cohen? Remember he was the fixer for Donald Trump. He was the lawyer that kind of handled everything. And that's how they came forward with the Stormy Daniels stuff and Alvin Bragg. Well, he put on his Substack post in January, quote, "From the time I began meeting with lawyers from the Manhattan DA's office and the New York Attorney General's office in connection with their investigations of President Trump and through the trials themselves," he writes, "I felt pressured." And then he uses a very interesting word choice. Here's the verb, coerced, to only provide information and testimony that would satisfy the government's desire to build the cases against and secure a judgment and convictions against President Trump. Why? Because, if he didn't, he was looking at a whole lot more time. And that was the threat he was being faced with. He clearly felt he's feeling this pressure. He's feeling coerced, he says. And then he says, Letitia James and Alvin Bragg may not share the same office or political calendar, but they share the same playbook. So calling them out there in his Substack post. So it's kind of a big deal. He said both use their platforms to elevate their profiles to claim the mantle of the officials who took down Trump. Well, ironically, neither one of them were able to do that, right? But they did get some time from Michael Cohen, and he may be able to go back, as well as the Trump attorneys, which is what they're trying to do right now to get the discovery. Apparently, they've been asking for it and asking for it and asking for it. What do you think happens? Dun, dun, dun. Too male, too pale, too stale, lady. Won't give them a darn thing. So now they got to go and file a whole bunch of legal stuff. They've had to put her on notice that she can't destroy any of the documents because they're trying to figure out whether or not a few things here, whether it was witness tampering, because that will carry up to 20 years in federal prison, as well as fines and disbarment. They're also trying to figure out whether it could be obstruction of justice. This would be a violation of Code 18 U.S.C. 1503 or 1512 if a government official interferes with the legal process, including, this is important, ladies and gentlemen, manipulating testimony that may be charged with obstruction. Okay, so that carries a penalty of 10 years, sometimes more depending on the statute that is used. So obstruction of justice is a biggie. And then you've also got subordination of perjury. And that would be 18 U.S.C. 1622, carries up to 5 years. If someone knowingly persuades another person to lie under oath, that is called subordinate perjury. Now, see, did they persuade him to lie under oath? That's what we got to figure out. And that's why we need to see this correspondence. There's also this one here. It goes on and on. Letitia, this is not a good day for you, honey bunny. Not a good day. Deprivations of rights under color of law, 18 U.S.C. 242. If a prosecutor abuses their government authority to violate someone's rights, federal civil rights charges can apply. That would be up to 10-year or life if severe harm results. This is a very bad day for her, I'll tell you. And then here you go with this one. Basically, the professional consequences. You could be looking at disbarment. You could be looking at loss of, your law license for sure. You could be looking at civil suits as well. All of this, frankly, is on the radar. Now, keep in mind, these are allegations. For criminal penalties to apply, investigators would need some clear evidence that Letitia James and or Alvin Bragg knowingly pressured or threatened a witness, and the intent was to produce false testimony or to interfere with justice. Do you think she might be capable of doing something like that? I do. I think a pretty good judge of character, and I absolutely think she's capable of doing it. I don't know as much about Alvin Bragg. We didn't cover him as much. He didn't, make all those explosive
Well, actually, 2.5.
So if she's coercing him through these communications that we're about to see and that she's going to have to produce, then that could actually mean, as I spoke about, a serious result in terms of, yeah, I know everybody wants her going to jail. And I think this is probably just my own intuition here. This is probably the best case they can build against her. She was a rogue prosecutor. She was going after, I mean, they're doing the civil rights thing, right? Because they're saying, hey, you violated Donald Trump's civil rights by politically targeting him because you wanted to take down Trump. But now you could be looking at up to 20 years in federal prison through a variety of things. Witness tampering would obviously be one of them. In other words, if she's shaping the witness, they're saying, okay, I need this, I need that. Will you say this? Will you say that? Again, obstruction of justice. All of these things are going to be a big deal. Subordination of perjury if someone knowingly is doing this. So that may have been communicated. I have a feeling she's sloppy. I mean, who the heck says, okay, I am going to put myself on my daddy's mortgage application and I am going to say that I am his wife and not think that that might not come back to haunt you at some point in time, especially when you're in politics. So yeah, she's sloppy. She's really sloppy. I mean, she's got those nieces living in her place. That's really, not what she says it is. Super duper sloppy. So I suspect they're going to find some there. And when they find the there, Letitia, honey, baby, you're going to go down. And this might be Donald Trump's best way. The irony of all this, you got to admit, like there's a certain poetic irony here that we're talking about, is that it's Michael Cohen. Right? Michael Cohen, who was the guy who basically turned Donald Trump, whom he seemed to worship in. And yet now he's the one that's coming back and maybe the one that like saves him here. But I don't think, and this is his point, I don't think he had a choice. Like they were going to put him away for life. And he's like, oh, what do I do? And he didn't have the means. He didn't have the, the backbone maybe to stand up to this. And he was concerned about his family, et cetera. So this will all be revealed, shall we say, in these documents that we just can't wait to get our hands on. If you watch the market today, we did end down a little bit lower. Everybody's still really worried about the Strait of Hormuz, about oil. We went up to $100 a barrel. I'll just say this, you know what? Everybody chill. Okay, just chill. It's all right. We're only down, 1.5% or something. It's fine.
Okay. That one was better than the one I messed up on. So I got about 6 short ones I'm going to play, and then we'll get to the YouTube lady, maybe the X2 report. We'll see how time goes. Oh, we get the weather report, you guys. Here's the weather report, 4 minutes.
To know your unique situation and get you every dollar you deserve. So hand off your taxes to a local TurboTax expert today.
Yeah, for the parade, honestly, we had weather. The winds weren't too strong yet, and the temperatures were warming up. And now, as we take a look at Corktown, well, the camera's shaking because the winds have definitely picked up, but it is still warm outside. Let's take a look at temperatures. We're down to 68 degrees in the city of Detroit. Winds are out of the south at 18, gusts near 32 miles per hour. But across the area, we still have some 70s on the board. Even at the airport, 71 degrees, 72 in Monroe, 70 in Ann Arbor, as well as Adrian and Pontiac this evening. Much colder farther to the north, 50 degrees. So a 20-degree temperature difference here. You can see how far the warm front has pushed through. We do have a cold front coming through tonight, and that is going to bring us a chance for some strong to potentially severe storms as we get closer to midnight tonight and after that. Right now, most of the rain is off to our north and west. A change over to snow up towards Mackinac. They've actually picked up about a foot of snow today. So some good news for some late season, maybe skiers or snowmobilers. We are going to be looking at more snow in that direction. For us, we've had a few rain showers move through this evening, and we'll look at more storms eventually and more rain as we get into tonight. So again, most of the action still stays off to our west, northwest, even through 11 o'clock tonight. The storms are close, but they're really not here just yet. Once we get closer to midnight and 1 a.m., we will have storms right along the cold front that'll move on through. The question is, will these be strong enough to be severe? Our biggest threat are going to be damaging wind gusts, so 60 miles per hour or stronger, and still an isolated tornado is possible, though that threat now is quite low. It's never zero, but there is, again, just a low chance for that. This line moves through between about 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. and then slides off to the east, and then we fall into the colder part of the storm as winds start.
Okay. I thought that was nationwide one. I had the wrong one. That was Michigan. Sorry about that one.
Resident of Spartanburg County, and I'm currently running for South Carolina's 4th Congressional District, and I'm speaking in opposition of Project Sparrow. It is clear that outside of the people who are making money from being in support of this project, that the overwhelming majority of county residents do not want this data center. As an elected official, you were elected to represent the interests of the people who voted you in, not corporations who were lining their pockets while the residents paid the bill. These centers are destroying communities across the country with smog in the air, water faucets and wells going dry, constant noise pollution, and skyrocketing electricity bills, and yet this center is somehow supposed to be different? Duke Energy has already increased rates by 8% to improve the grid in South Carolina. Data centers make millions of dollars each year, so why are we, the consumer, footing the bill to build a stronger grid for centers that we did not ask for, rather than our representatives advocating for and or passing laws that would require the centers to pay fully for their impact and the cost of the power grid, and to pay upfront for any new infrastructure needed to power them? Our state legislature has 2 bills that are moving through committee related to regulating data centers in order to protect the communities that they are coming into. They are H4583 and Bill S867. Before we allow another data center into our communities, let these bills pass through the House and the Senate so that proper regulations can be set in place to protect us. Counties in our neighboring state of Georgia have created referendums where voters can decide whether or not the data centers can come into their communities. So why not we let our voters who will be impacted by these centers vote and decide if we want them here? So in conclusion, let the people vote on this, make corporations pay their fair share of the bill, and delay this vote indefinitely.
Okay, South Carolina news. Hello. Yes, who?
was confiscated. Schumer is attempting to obstruct justice by using his influence to hinder investigations into the $13 million mansion that the Democratic senator received as a bribe in 2021. Because of this, Schumer's arrest has been requested, with senators like Rick Scott and Josh Hawley filing a petition in the office of Attorney General Pam Bondi to request an arrest warrant for obstruction and the attempted bribery of a federal agent. In addition to other scandals involving this man, who could very soon end up in a 4x4 cell in a federal prison, Schumer faces other accusations that could weigh even more heavily against the Democrat, because he is also accused of lobbying Congress to help another corrupt individual obtain federal funds that ended up disappearing in the state of New York. It's impressive how Democratic governments tend to make billions of dollars disappear. That's why Donald Trump cut those funds, because they discovered where all those billions went. Attorney General Pam Bondi has everything she needs to put these criminals in jail. I'm Fernanda Perez-Riley, and if you're not following me yet, American history. We have never had as much corruption as under the Democrats. There are so many corruption scandals that they could bury the Democratic Party under a mountain. The vice president called the state of California, which is dominated by corrupt Democrats, the fraud capital of America. Vance announced a mega task force within the DOJ specifically focused on fraud, and there are indications that the vice president will soon lead a new task force established through an executive order from the Trump administration. Vance wants to recover every penny Gavin Newsom stole in California, which, according to an audit, involved over $400 billion in suspicious projects that even independent auditors concluded were part of a money laundering scheme using public funds. President Trump himself announced that he signed an executive order to investigate the fraud in our state, which could finally send Newsom and all those who protect him within the state assembly who also benefited from the scheme to jail. And now, with Vice President Vance leading this investigation, things are finally going to happen, and Newsom can start preparing himself, because he's going to have to wear an orange jumpsuit for a good while. And if you want to see him in jail as much as I do, don't forget to follow.
Couple more here.
Knows what to do to avoid ending up in jail, even after asking his aides to destroy evidence following Nancy Pelosi's bombshell confession that revealed his name to the DOJ as a coordinating member of a criminal network within Congress. This gentleman has spent the last 2 decades causing harm to Americans. After all, my friend, I don't know if you're from New York, but know that Schumer participated in one of the most unscrupulous deals in American history. And now he will finally answer to the Americans who were harmed by schemes carried out by him and other Democrats who could very soon be the next to go to jail. There are reports that Schumer spied within the Permanent Intelligence Committee when he was a member, passing information to people under investigation by the committee. It was later revealed that the Democratic senator had received a generous payment abroad to copy this information and send it to a tycoon who was also a donor to several other politicians in Schumer's party. This should be headline news in every newspaper. It's not an old case. It happened recently, and it was only after President Trump returned to the White House that the investigations began. Punishments are coming for Chuck Schumer and other Democrats as well. It's only a matter of time before we see these scoundrels in federal prison. I'm Fernanda Perez.
Okay, so the last two is going to be, might be a half hour. I won't be able to get you the FBI or whatever one. So I got the one is 26, and then we'll do the X2 report. Last two here. We'll do the lady first. You don't normally have a long one. This one's a long one.
Smart, cost-effective, and guaranteed for life. Bath Fitter.
I'd do anything. Oh, what's wrong? Hi.
Give me another pack.
Is that a threat? Is that a threat?
What a bitch.
All right, you saw the title. I probably don't even need to tell you the kind of people we're looking at today because you already know the type. It's someone who gets told no one time and suddenly everything turns into a full-blown public performance with finger pointing, yelling, demanding managers, sometimes even calling the police. And most times it's over the most ridiculous things imaginable. And the wildest part is that half the time the person that is causing the scene is the one that is absolutely convinced that they are the victim, while everyone around them is just standing there staring, wondering exactly how this turned from a normal day into a reality TV show.
No, because you're a f***ing asshole. You're a f***ing asshole. It's none of your business if I say why or not. Did you touch me? Why did she touch me? She cannot touch me. Why did she touch me? She has no right to touch me. Ruining it. Yup. Because she touched me.
Ma'am, you need to stop yelling at me.
Unless I call 911.
Ma'am,
She
you're being
calls me
aggressive.
bitch. Your waitress
You are being
called me
aggressive.
bitch. Your waitress called me bitch.
You need to treat people with respect.
I'm gonna close this restaurant. I'm gonna close this restaurant. Your waitress called me bitch.
Oh,
in
no,
front of
okay.
You
everyone.
pushed her and tried to take her check.
I did push her.
You took.
Are you guys liars?
No.
Are you guys liars?
I don't know what you want us to
Call
do.
their manager. I need to talk to manager. Right
Our
now.
manager's right there. It's her car.
There we go. The obligatory, I want to talk to your manager. Lady, you don't need to be a lawyer to see that you've pushed someone. They're saying, we saw you push her. And she says, are you a lawyer? Oh, she is doing too much.
The manager for the waitress, manager of the restaurant.
He's not here.
Call him or her. I know he's not here. Call him. Call him.
He's right there.
He's right there.
It doesn't sound like she's an American lady, is she?
Okay, go get Go get
There's
him.
nothing we can do, lady.
Go get him. Go get him. I know, because you guys are scared. Because this is not the way you should react to a customer.
So is that her just like leaving because she doesn't want to deal with it? Or is she going to get the manager? My guess is that she's just deciding to leave because that's when the filming stopped.
If you're getting on the first floor, don't you take a picture of me. I'll knock you out. Buddy.
Oh.
I will knock you.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Don't take a picture of me, you asshole.
Touch me.
I don't care if you don't want to be filmed or not. You do not put your hands on somebody. She literally could have been like charged with assault. She literally just like, because she didn't want to be filmed. Ooh, she got lucky that he wasn't meaner than that.
Police, because I'm going to go ballistic in about 2 seconds. Because I'm going to go ballistic in about 2 seconds. You just wasted all of my time.
No, that's okay. See, call police. I don't worry. That's okay. Don't worry.
Today is my birthday. Aww. This was my treat to myself. You could give me my $40 back and I'll leave.
Why I give you $40?
Because that's what I paid for the deluxe pedicure.
You return your Groupon and give you back money back.
No, Groupon's not giving me money
They
back.
not pay me. They not pay me. Why I pay you?
Because I have an appointment right now at 4
But
o'clock.
you know you come late.
You called me 6 times in the car.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No.
This is not your phone number. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
I'm working.
Is it your phone number? Look, you called your phone number. You called me 5 times. You called me 5 times while I was driving here. I kept on pulling over.
So she literally told her, lady, you were late. She charged at her. Oh my gosh, she looked like she was literally about ready to hit her while she's doing a pedicure for somebody else. The person who's filming this is having a pedicure done, which I'm assuming is supposed to be this, psycho's appointment. She was literally looking like she was going to hit this woman because she didn't save her appointment for her because she was late. Just because it's your birthday doesn't mean that you get to act like a crazy bitch.
To answer your phone calls.
Wow.
Go get her license plate. Go out there. Go get her license plate, quick. Take my phone, here, record her license plate.
Man, I hope that lady spent her birthday alone. I don't know anybody who would want to be around somebody like that. Oh my God.
Are you sorry for what you did to me?
I'm sorry that the circumstances.
Are you sorry for what you did to me, or are you not?
I did not.
Sir, nobody. You canceled my 26-year membership. You did that. Well, then who did it? For what reason? You were the only one that interacted with, and you admitted failure.
Just walk around.
Good job. Good job. Recording it. Nice.
Why not?
Absolutely.
He wants entertainment. So
You hurt me, and you will sadly have to take that to your grave. I choose to forgive you for the hurt and cause of all the pain to me and my family.
Wow.
Now, players will have a small visual indication to clue them in on when a large.
I hope you don't hurt any other people in this world with your behavior.
Okay.
20 minutes.
Enough.
If you want to hit me, buddy. If you want to do something to me, do it. Okay? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Get out of the office. See everybody here.
I forgive you for hurting me.
Good. All right. That's
You hurt me.
okay. All right.
it's because you're white. Tell them. That's what he wants to hear, right?
She
Isn't that
realizes
what he
that
said?
she screwed up. She realizes that she hurt
He already said it several times.
You smell like alcohol.
I don't recommend you touching him. You're good.
I'm just saying.
If you touch him, you're allowed.
So, is this a representative that you have here?
I have a.
All right. You're going to record me, I'll record you.
Oh, you're perfect.
Yeah, this is gonna go. I know you want everything to calm down, but he's brought everybody into it. You brought everybody into
This guy right here is calling me drunk. So I'm going to get in my car, I'm going to call the police, or I'm going to have a DUI on me now.
Get an Uber.
I'm drunk.
Get an Uber. Get an Uber.
So apparently he got escorted out by police, but wow, she really did him and his family a lot of harm by canceling his AAA membership. What?
Get away from
Really,
my car.
you? Boy? Get out of your car, boy. Son?
Go somewhere, crazy.
No, I'm not crazy. Get out of your car now.
You don't
Yeah,
want me to
eating your McDonald's?
You don't
Get
want
out
me
of
to
your
go.
car, asshole.
get your order straight.
Come on. Come on now. I'm so ready to fight club this shit. Let's go. Come on.
No.
Come on.
me,
Oh,
no.
pussy. Pussy. You're a f***ing pussy. Get a degree. Go to school.
I am what I
Go
eat.
to school.
I am what I eat. You see my car versus your car.
You're eating McDonald's? Go to
You see
school.
my car versus your
Go
car.
to-
Bye.
What does eating McDonald's have to do with going to school? Isn't she really trying to fight this guy? She's really trying to get him to get out of his vehicle so that she can fight club some shit.
Bye.
Make $1 million a year, you
McDonald's.
son. No, I'm not eating at McDonald's. I was getting a coffee at McDonald's. You?
That's not
$2
eating?
bill?
That's not eating. Take your ass on.
Get out of your car, pussy. Get
Go
out of your
home.
car.
Go home.
I'm here. No,
Go home.
come on.
Go home, Miss Washington. Take your ass home.
Come on. No, get your ass out of your car. Are you going to post this? Because you look like a pussy right now. A pussy with your, get a degree. Go to school. Go to school.
So she makes $1 million a year, but she's getting her coffee at McDonald's. Got it. And no, honey, he doesn't look like a pussy for not getting out of the car to fight you. He looks like a man who's not about ready to get out of a car and start hitting a woman. So consider yourself lucky for that, because unless she can fight, she needs to just sit her ass down.
Let's go. No, pussy. Pussy. You're a pussy. You're a pussy.
Get away from my car.
You're a pussy. I'm not touching your
You
stupid
smell like
white
pussy.
two-door car.
You smell like pussy.
No, I
Get up.
don't.
Get away from my
You
car.
only wish you could have this, dumb. Get out of your car. Come on.
This bitch bugging.
Come on. Dumb.
There's actually a California leash law. Let me educate you. You should.
Go back to.
Oh wow! I'll put this on my platform.
I'll put this on my TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm just
We have
being.
TikTok too.
I don't want your dog to get hurt.
This is the woman who
you
called
are
me
not.
a bitch when she moved
You're
into
not
our
putting
neighborhood.
your dog
a few
on
weeks
leash.
ago, she moved into our neighborhood.
You're
and
not
now
putting
she's
on
the
the
most
leash.
hated woman on our block.
And then you're breaking
Everybody
California
hates you.
law.
Everybody hates you
You're
now.
breaking the
And she
California
called me a
law.
bitch one
And you're a
day
racist.
for being outside my house.
There you go. You're a racist.
I'm just educating you.
You're a racist.
You look like one.
I'm just
You look like
educating
one.
you.
You look like one.
I'm
You
just
do not need to
educating.
educate me.
Yes, it's
Go
free
and
education.
When you don't do what the law says, you're a racist. I guess it sounds like nowadays.
Thank you. You are welcome.
You are going on whatever you put me on, lady.
You're breaking
I'm
the
recording you too, lady.
So this is what happened.
Did you say something to Jennifer too?
This is
Did
something.
Did you
what
say something to
happened
Jennifer behind you?
That
Did you?
You
Did
should
you?
put your
Dad?
dog on leash because you're breaking the California law for.
You're so unpopular.
You're breaking the
You
California
should
law
move.
for.
We don't want you
leash,
on this block.
On the leash.
We don't want you on this block.
You're
so-
actually breaking California law for not putting
Listen,
dog
lady,
here on leash.
There's a police station
So
up the top
I
of the
am-
road. Go up and do what you want to do.
I will come. I will send this video.
Oh my God, you're going to break my
as
camera.
a-
You're so ugly.
I'm not. I'm asking you nicely, but you are
You
being
don't know
a
how
Karen.
to ask anything nicely because you called me
Okay.
a bitch.
I'm done.
And until you apologize,
You are.
we won't start
You're
again.
breaking California
Apologize for
law for
calling
not
me
putting your
a
dog
bitch.
on leash.
Do you understand
And I will formally. Do you
Do
listen?
you? Yeah. Right
Okay.
here.
What's
Do you
your last
understand
name?
English?
What's your last name?
Wong Kong Hai.
Okay, you're being a racist. This is going on.
Yeah, this is going
I'm-
on my TikTok.
I am.
She told me to
I
go
will
back to my
file a
country
formal
and eat
complaint.
potatoes the last time I met her.
I cannot stand people like this, man. You have to leash your dog. Yes, I know that it is law in California or whatever. Leash laws exist basically everywhere, as far as I know. If you ever have a dog out in public, they have to be on a leash. And the fact that this woman thought that she was so self-important that she doesn't have to follow the rules, that is beyond me. And then she went and acted racist on top of that and claimed that she wasn't being racist. She needs to just, ooh, I really hope that she got reported. I want to know, like, what the day-to-day life is like living in the neighborhood with her. God dang, man, I wouldn't be able to stand living next to this.
Hand off your taxes to an expert in your neighborhood. Now, your TurboTax expert can file for you.
Bitch.
Give me another pie. You got run over. I want another pie. There you go.
She wants her pie. I want another pie. She got her pie. And then she chucked it at the workers. That was rude.
I am not happy. I'm tempted to check your pockets. In fact, I'm calling the police.
You can call who you like to call, ma'am, but I gotta go.
No, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere.
You know this lady?
You're not going
You might want to
anywhere.
get this lady. You know her?
She just signed that package. It was told when she got it already.
Okay, well, I didn't check the package.
Going anywhere.
Well, I didn't check the package. She need to call Fetch and deal with Fetch, but she's not going to threaten me and she's not going to hit me. And if she touch me, I'm going to knock her out. I'm just letting you know.
I'm taking a picture of you.
You can take a I am filming you right now. Because you are
I don't
really.
believe you. You stole my
Don't
mala.
hit me, ma'am. Don't you hit me.
You stole my mala.
I never stole anything from
I'm
you.
reporting this to the landlord.
I don't care what you do. I didn't steal anything from you.
Everybody in this hallway is here.
I really don't care.
Everybody matches a bunch of thieves.
You need to get you some medication.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, you
need
do.
to do your job. I am
You want me to
definitely
smile?
100% reporting you. You stole my jewelry out of this package.
Girl,
I am not happy. Empty your pockets.
I'm not emptying nothing. And I have to go.
If you have nothing to
Could you
hide,
please
then
get
prove
her?
it to me. You have nothing to hide.
I'm not proving anything to you. Not a thing.
Actually, you
If
do.
you touch me,
'Cause
I'm gonna
it's
knock you
all
out.
over online and fat
If
steal
you
stuff.
touch me, I'm gonna knock you out.
Empty your pockets.
I'm not emptying anything, ma'am.
Come on. You're being recorded. Come on.
You sure are. You might want to get her.
My stuff. You stole my stuff.
Crazy.
I am reporting you for stealing my package.
Do whatever it is you have to do, ma'am.
You stole my package. I am definitely reporting this to facts.
Why would I steal your package and then give it to you? Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. File a report. Why would I give you an empty package if I steal it?
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. She definitely seemed like she had a few screws loose. Wow.
Do you know what? Do you know how much stuff gets stolen? Do you know how many people?
Get out of my face.
Get out of our building.
Get out of my face.
Get out of our building.
Get out of my face.
I called the police.
I'm suing you guys, especially you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's why, because I have a family full of lawyers.
Oh my goodness.
My
Do you?
granddaughter, my son-in-law,
Great.
and my father.
Okay, that's good. Next
You can
time.
wait here if you want with me, or you don't have to, but I'm waiting for the police to come.
Oh, you want somebody to advocate for you?
What a bitch.
What am I?
A beautiful girl. How could
What
you
a
behave
bitch.
so badly?
Wow.
Did you call me a bitch?
No, I have it on recording. You called me a bitch. You said, what a bitch?
It's just so, whatever.
I'll see you in court. Happily.
Yeah.
But then she did attempt to get in the back. Tried. And I stopped her.
No, you didn't stop me.
I think so.
You were going to escort me to management. Stop lying. Stop lying. When you opened the door, you said, I will show you the way to management. Okay? That's what you said. She's not going to do anything.
What is she, Optimum?
I am Optimum, yes. You can see my badge.
She's going to lose 80 clients out of this building.
Actually, the clients love me here.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
We just had 3 in the back here.
I just signed up 2.
Shut up.
I already told you we do not do exchanges. Has to go through the manager. You want to be yelling? I have a witness here. There's a camera. You came here yesterday. You're the one lifting your voice. I already told you. You don't want to listen. I can't.
God.
And you're the one cussing. You've been cussing 10 times. What did you say? I am the clock. No one said that. Okay. So why? Okay. Listen to me. I do have standards, but you don't have standards. You don't have standards. You called me a racial slur. I never called you a racial slur. Okay, now you're cussing. If that's the way you talk, this is the way I talk too. That's the way I talk too. Oh, look at you. Look who's talking. It takes one to know one. I'm not going to shut up.
I think
Too bad.
I think this will be the last one.
I'm not going to shut up.
Getting tired.
I'm not. You know, at first, I wanted to help you, but this kind of attitude, no. No, my job is not killing people. I don't care. Look, you're the one yelling.
Oh, wow.
Listen, this is why people don't like people with you, because you feel entitled. There is no entitlement in this world. You have to go through the rules like everybody else. Like everybody else. I can see the manager. This could have been resolved. Look, people, right there. And I'm going to upload it on my TikTok. Really good.
My fault, my job.
Oh, yes, but she can sit there and cuss people and call racial slurs. I have it on video right here. Let's see how many people can find her on TikTok, where she works and everything. Let's see that. But you didn't want to. You didn't want to resolve it.
No,
that's a threat. Is that a threat? that a threat? Is that a threat? Is that a threat? Come on. Recorded on video, and they're gonna find you who you are. They're gonna find you who you are.
I'm right here, bitch.
Yes, and they're gonna put it on TikTok. I don't care what. No one's gonna help you no more. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Okay. Was that a sex shop? Like, was this fight going on inside a sex shop? Yes, her behavior was absolutely unacceptable, but that's all I could think about was, is this a sex shop? A sex shop is supposed to be a place where people go and be happy. What was she so mad about?
Away from my vehicle so I can close my door.
Except for the fact that
I'm going to call the police. You're assaulting me. Please get away from me. I don't want anything to do with you.
I'm assaulting you?
You're not letting me leave.
And this is assaulting you?
You're not letting me leave. So you're stopping me from leaving.
Call the police.
It doesn't matter if she thinks that's assault or not. She is preventing him from leaving by putting her leg on his property. Like, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that.
I will. Please move away from me. Please get away from me. I didn't do anything to you.
I was trying to have a conversation.
I don't want to have a conversation with you. I don't know you. You're so close to me. With COVID, you don't have a mask on. It's insane. Can you please step away from get away from me?
So you're trying to tell me
I'm just trying to tell you I'm trying to close my door.
I was trying to tell you
you're
you're pulling my you're hitting me.
Because you're stopping me.
Yes, because I need you to hear.
Please back away from me.
I need you to hear some words.
This is insane.
I will back up here, but you need to listen to me.
Miss, you're not.
If you're that concerned,
Miss, I'm concerned about you stopping me from leaving. That's what I'm concerned with. I'm going to go into the store and let them know that you're stopping me. You can't stop me.
I'm concerned with you parking.
Yeah, well, she is Mexican and she can't speak English.
And why does that bother you? Why does that matter to you?
Because I can't find my cane. I left my cane in the bathroom.
Okay.
You know what? Stop filming me.
No, because if you're going to tell me to shut my mouth, I will make sure that I capture this in case you do anything else.
You're threatening me, madame.
I'm threatening you? You told me I better shut my mouth. Or what?
You know what? Put your damn phone down. You're an idiot.
Why don't you think about that next time you're sitting here talking about people not being able to speak English, and then when I ask you what your problem is, you tell me I better shut my mouth.
Would you please move your stuff?
Why don't you think about that next time before telling somebody you better shut your mouth?
You know what?
A steamy, relaxing spa. Soothing eucalyptus bubble bath.
Look at all of this freaking seltzer, wine, and beer this woman is buying. She's already pissy enough. I'd hate to see her drunk.
Won't think about a damn thing. Hey, hi.
Hey, Karen.
Hey, bitch.
You're going on TikTok, honey. Good. Going on TikTok.
Go for it. Have fun.
Look how ugly she
Have
is.
fun. Hey.
Yeah, look how ugly she is.
And I'm going to say ugly, but not even from the way that you look, but the way that your personality is. Your soul.
You're ugly.
Your soul.
Of you is
zero character.
She needs to go. She's harassing everyone.
No, I didn't say.
That's a lie. We got it on tape. We have it on film.
I'm never coming back.
Oh, that's fine.
The Lord. Thank you. Thank you.
Maria.
Bye, Karen.
Thank you very much.
You want to say what's wrong with people? You were the one sitting here saying it should be a requirement for people to speak English in America, right?
Yep, it is.
Bye, Karen.
It's a requirement?
Should be.
So when you travel to other countries, are you required to learn those languages right away as well?
You know what? Mind your own damn business.
No, you should mind your own business.
We should send this to Instacart. She works for Instacart. That's what we're going to send it to. Instacart.
Oh, is she an Instacart shopper? Ooh, so that's the same kind of thing. So yes, I know like Instacart shoppers, Uber drivers, DoorDashers, they're all technically 1099 employees, but you're still representing the company. You could probably lose your job for something like that. Karen needs to watch her P's and Q's.
Nobody's breaking any laws. We gave you all. We were nice to you at first, and you were
not nice.
We were nice.
We came over to you with respect.
You got mad trying to say we were breaking laws when there's no laws. We're out of city limits.
I didn't say anything about breaking law.
Then why are you here?
Sitting across the field.
Then why are you here?
That's why this movie's
Then why are
not
you here?
in.
Okay, and what's gonna happen?
Nobody's nervous.
They're coming
They're
here.
like,
Well, what are they going to do? We're out of city limits. I have a concealed carry permit. I can carry whatever I want. So what are they going to do? I'm on private property. Who's breaking any laws?
About your carry concealed.
I'm just saying, what law am I breaking?
You're breaking the owner's law of this property.
The owner just said we can shoot.
That is not Ryan.
Then who are you?
Ryan is the owner.
Ryan is
call
not
the
owner.
cops.
If he was not the owner, he wouldn't be able to rent out the place.
Dude, call the cops. If she doesn't off, bro.
The point is that she's going to be here.
Bro, I'm sorry. I'm not coming to your house anymore.
And she's coming to tell no guns on this property.
Okay.
No shooting.
Who?
My sister.
Where is she?
She'll be here.
Okay.
You want to wait for her?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Good.
Okay.
Because who are you?
I am.
Okay.
You don't understand who I am.
We don't care who you are.
I don't think she understands who she is. That was a pretty simple question to answer, and she couldn't even answer it. She's like, you don't know who I am. Ma'am, I don't think you know who you are either.
If you were the property,
why are you here?
We can tell you to leave the property because it's different. Yes, you literally can.
And the property owner would have to press charges on me.
Well, you can still get trespass from here.
No, you can't. The property owner would have to do the charging.
You know how much it costs to not be. It's free.
You know what? You know what?
We're literally not.
You are really. You have no idea.
I'm one of the nicest.
Good comeback. That's a real good comeback. You know, you're something.
Idea.
You can literally ask anybody.
No idea.
I'm literally.
You were told not to shoot, and you kept shooting.
By who?
Ryan told you stop.
No, we didn't.
He said wait until you leave.
Yeah.
Wait till I leave?
Yes.
Oh, good.
So that's exactly what we did. We waited until you leave.
You can ask anybody. I'm literally the nicest individual that you will ever meet.
Yeah, sure you are.
I literally am. I'm only a dick to people who are a dick. Stop being a dick.
No.
Literally, that's it.
No.
Bro, she's got nothing better to do. Leave her alone.
No.
If she wants to be here and yell for no reason, let her do it.
You're something. She had some really, really good comebacks. There you have it. Just one more reminder that sometimes the most dramatic scenes don't come from the movies. They just simply come from someone who can't handle the word no. If you enjoyed watching the chaos unfold, let me know by hitting the thumb.
Okay, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up. Tomorrow night at 6. A lot of intel out there. Everybody have a good work week and get back to normal scheduling, I guess. One show, 6 o'clock. And thanks, Mods, Kay, Flying Eagle, Carol K, Tim, Lucy. And God bless everybody. Remember, please hit the like. And stay safe, stay strong, keep your faith, and our favorite words, never give up. And signing off, Chico Dude. Another day of big intel. Could have been more, but exhausted. So thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow evening. Have a good Monday.